probing questions, anxious hands, and tepid feet. Sayaka Saeki is trying to close the gap between her and the one who is so far, Toko Nanami. Once a text from Yu arrives, a literal obstruction appears between them, and after realizing her futility, the scene cuts to a shot of Sayaka's hand. And it never quite crossed the barrier to touch Nanami. She withdraws, and the space between her and the one she loves is clear as ever. So very close, but never close enough. The use of space in Bloom Into You is twofold. It's not just used physically, but also figuratively, and oftentimes a conjunction of the two. Our characters want to reach each other, and they're disconnected in emotion and desire, for what separates them is always space. It's no coincidence that in the first episode, Yu's isolation is repeated and framed through the use of space. Her hand reaching out into the vastness of light, she feels alone, not being able to experience romantic love. This makes her feel isolated from her friends, illustrated by the growing space between them. However, Nanami's words bring her back. Suddenly, that space is gone, and having someone who understands you goes a long way. Space helps to contextualize Yu's inner conflict while also creating an external one. Bloom Into You is about Yu negotiating this space in the face of Nanami's feelings for her. Nanami is the one crossing spaces and only lets Yu cross hers. When Yu confronts Nanami about her intentions with the play, she begins to create space that she never has with Yu. A huge gap visualized by pushing both girls in opposite frames. However, Yu finds her first meaningful agency in the relationship. She begins to cross the space that Nanami created in order to protect herself, one step at a time, until she's finally face to face, showing her senpai that she won't back down. And as soon as the scene ends, we get to a cut of them holding hands. The space is gone and our couple has taken a step, albeit a small one. As a callback to Sayaka's scene with Nanami, Yu is closer to her than Sayaka could ever be. Her decision not to touch Nanami wasn't out of nervousness, but out of free will. Unlike Sayaka, she is content with what she has, and it characterizes and contextualizes their relationship with Nanami. For each of our characters, space is used differently, and oftentimes an indicator of relationships.